It is 5:30 p.m. or 5:32 p.m. on Tuesday, October 1st. You are at an economic development meeting for the city of Wausau. With a quorum present, I will call the meeting to order. First up on the agenda is public comment. If there is any, is anyone here for public comment? No. Okay, thank you. Then next, did all members get a chance to review the minutes? Any changes? Any questions? Nope. Okay. No questions. Then I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, Alder Killian, and a second. Okay, second by Alder Gisselman. All in favor, say aye. Aye. No opposing? Okay, then that is approved, and those will be placed on file. Number 3 on the agenda is the planning option agreement between the City of Wausau and Vanguard Partners Incorporated for 15 Fulton Street, 920 North 1st Street. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Thank you. So what you have in your packet today is a planning option agreement with the City of Wausau and Vanguard. This provides them with the ability to access the property and go through their due diligence testing. The planning option runs through December 31 of 2025. There's some built-in options for them if they wish to require an extension beyond that. Additionally, beyond that time, they have the ability to notify us that they want to move forward with development agreement negotiations. Our hope would be that we're able to get everything wrapped up. They're able to get on the site, do testing, move forward with everything, and we can be having those development agreement discussions next year. We do have Dave and Mark that joined us virtually if anybody has any questions, but other than that, I would open it up to questions from the committee.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions? Alder Killian?
I have a couple questions. Just for clarification, under planning section part E, could you please define public agency where it says city shall make good faith efforts to coordinate public agency participation? What public agency?
I guess the first that comes to mind would be like the DNR or any type of anything with the environmental on that side.
Okay, yeah. And then my second question is under development agreement negotiations. It says to be conveyed in as-is condition. Has this parcel already been cleaned up to relevant DNR standards?
Yeah, so we go back to the request for information. We had some information on there in regards to its status. There'll be some additional work that the developers will need to do in terms of any work that they want to do on there. But in working with Stantec, we have made progress on the cleanup of this parcel. And that would be stuff that they would work through and follow up with as part of this planning option time that they feel confident that their plans and what they need to do would be in, I guess, would be able to follow along with any DNR or EPA requirements, anything along those lines.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
A question.
Alder Gisselman?
Yes, thank you. So this planning agreement goes through 25. What is the timeline then of this development? It seems like, are we into 2027 already, or how far out is this development going to be?
I'll turn that question to Mark or Dave if you want to talk about your timeline.
Hold on, I need to unmute them.
Just a second here.
Great, did it disconnect? Oh my God. There we go. All right, he's unmuted.
All right, go ahead. We got you unmuted now.
Can you hear us, Mark?
let me just go back to.
Dave, can you hear us?
I guess just going back to what they'd submitted in their proposal, they were looking to start construction next fall. We know from experience that sometimes these development agreements, if things come up, take additional time. So we want to make sure that they have
Right.
enough time to fulfill all those obligations and so that they're comfortable and we're comfortable moving forward.
Sorry, I can see Randy talking,
Oh,
but no, I cannot hear.
He can hear now.
So,
Dave, the question was, do you want to just speak a little bit about your timeline on this project? Or Mark? Oh,
Oh, okay.
Alder Gissman, did you have any other questions on that?
thank you. Considering the developers that have looked at this, do we have a phase 1 and phase 2 study on this property as yet? Do we know?
There's been a lot of work done on this already, just based on the city's work on it. Let me go back to what we talked about in the RFI.
I don't know if there has been a phase 1 or phase 2. Certainly, we've had other developers taking a look.
Yep, so this-
I'm not familiar exactly what progress we've made on this property.
Yeah, so the city at this point is responsible for submitting the post-closure modification report for work that was done on the River Life Apartments, the Fulton Street extension, and city-owned parking lot on that site, also abandoning and submitting documentation for the removal of 5 monitoring wells. So this has been work that we've done in concert with Stantec at this point. So really, there's a lot of the environmental work that should be relatively completed on this site. We have gotten to the point with this, looks like we've got a closure. We just need that work on River Life Apartments for part of the closure as part of this. But depending on what they're doing with soils, there's different requirements, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So but this is all part of the work that they'll need to do. And we'll need to work with them so that when they're moving forward with the development, everything's in concert. But at this point, the site's considered closed.
I'm sorry. Nothing's coming up, nothing's working.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, are there other questions at all, committee members? No?
If we can't get them on the line, then I would really like them to be at the next economic development meeting so that we can ask questions of them, if that's possible.
I guess what would the questions be?
Well, similar to what Alder Gissman had, phase 1, phase 2, what is the timeline for this project? Those types of questions where you were going to turn it over to them,
Okay.
because we really don't know much more than,
Cannot hear you guys. I'm not
Present.
certain if you can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you, Dave.
Yeah, you can't hear us.
so I guess, yeah, a little more about where we're going with this.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear us? We
There go.
we can hear you.
Yes.
All right, do you want to talk a little bit about the timeline of the project?
Sure, yes. So if everything goes according to plan, we think it might be realistic to get in the ground and begin construction by fall of next year. So I realize that there's a lot of things that have to happen and have to line up correctly as the dominoes fall, but A success would look like for us in the September to October time range in the ground.
Okay.
And then it would be a 16 to 18 month construction phase thereafter.
So you would anticipate that this would hopefully be done by the end of 2027? Because that would be about 24 months. Because a lot of times things don't go as planned and there's some delays. So would that be accurate possibly?
So yeah, so if everything goes correctly, and we can control a lot of variables on the timeline, the actual construction timeline, based on the fact that we've already built this product in Wauwatosa and we know the product well. Also with the relationships with our general contractors that we have, we know how to manage the projects and we understand how they like to work and operate. So there's we're trying to mitigate risk on that end. But as far as the timeline goes, to answer your question more specifically, yes, if we're in the ground by next September, we would like to be turning units about a year after that. So that would be 10 months to 12 months after that. So the summer of 26, we would begin turning units and be accepting occupancy and stabilization. Yes, you're correct. Probably would not happen until 27.
By the way, I did look at your units in Wauwatosa and they do look very nice.
Thank you. Yep. We're glad to deliver a good product to the residents.
Thank you. Other questions? Committee members?
Just so that for city staff that, that we would be able to get updates with regard to progress here so that, you know, especially with the agreement, with the development agreement, but, you know, just so that we're not, it just doesn't come out of the blue, but we're always engaged so that we know how far they are along. I think that would be a benefit. Thank you.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you. Others, any other questions? Okay, I don't have any questions either. This was no action, just
No, we were looking for a
information.
recommendation to approve.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then I'm looking for a motion to approve the planning option agreement between the City of Wausau and Vanguard Partners for 15 Fulton Street, 920 North First Street. Okay, motion by Alder Gisselman, second by Alder Tierney. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Alder Killian opposed. Okay. 3 in favor, 1 opposed. Thank you. Moving on then to agenda item number 4, purchase of city-owned property by Habitat for Humanity at 722 Jefferson Street. Ms. Strutz.
Thank you. As you've seen in the package, we have received a offer through our property disposition program from Habitat. This is probably our 4th or 5th lot with them that we are partnering with. So the address is 722 Jefferson Street. They have requested to purchase it for $1,000, which has been typical of what they've done in the past, with a couple of contingencies. One is to have a CSM survey map done, and that's already done, so that's not a big deal. And then just have a couple of trees removed so that when moving the building on, which is typical too. Habitat usually pays for the title insurance, the closing costs, because we're giving them a fair price. But they're a great partner. Mike Heckendorf here, he is the construction manager. If you have any questions of them, and they were doing their 78th? Third, half of 8, dedication next week, Tuesday. So feel free to look at that. I think they do a great job, and I think they're a great partner. Any questions?
Thank you. I do have a question. So this was a property that was going to be through the police department, right? They were going to have, or the
Correct. It's been,
adjacent
yes, kind of a
property.
moving
Okay.
target lot for a while, yes.
Okay, okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. Other questions by committee members? Alder Tierney. I'm sorry, not Alder Tierney,
Whoever
Alder
I am.
Killian.
I just want to say thank you to Habitat for Humanity. They have done such a wonderful job assisting us with housing in our community, and it's truly an example of something really good in Wausau, so thank you.
Thank you.
I agree. Thank you. Any other questions, comments by committee members? Okay, so then I am looking for a motion to approve the purchase of the city-owned property by Habitat for Humanity at 722 Jefferson Street. Okay, Alder Killian, motion by Alder Killian, second by anyone? Okay, Alder Tierney, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay, motion approved. Thank you. So then, number 5 on the agenda, looking for a motion to move into closed session regarding the deed restrictions for 180 East Wausau Avenue. And if anyone would like to read that, make the motion and read the language. Alder Tierney, thank you.
Pursuant to 19.85 sub 1 sub E of the Wisconsin statutes for deliberating or negotiating the purchase, of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session related to City of Wausau deed restrictions for 180 East Wausau Ave.
Thank you. So that is a motion. I'm looking for a second to move into closed session. Okay, second by Alder Killian. I'm sorry. Then do we need to do roll call vote? Okay, do I do? Or, okay,
I don't, yeah, I don't.
then I do?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which way I start?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll start with Alder Tierney.
Aye, here.
Thank you. Alder Gisselman. Alder Killian. And I also. Okay, so we will recess to close session. Thank you.
I can do that going forward, I just never have.
Oh, it's okay. I just didn't.
Okay.